What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys, after you watch the video, hit the red and white button, the subscribe button, SLC, subscribe, like, and comment for more content like this. Also, let me know what other future episodes you would like me to produce. Now it brings me to Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Luis King Kong Ortiz out of Cuba. This is a heavyweight fight that is surely going to produce what I would call fireworks. This may actually end in knockdowns / a knockout from my estimation. I want to know from you guys who you think will win. This is a long time coming. Both fighters have been, in the same division. Luis King Kong Ortiz has frequently called out the best. And I got to give a lot of credit to Luis King Kong Ortiz because he has stayed with the program when all seemed lost. It wasn't until that man from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, oh my God, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, gave Luis Ortiz a real true shot because it was at a title, right? Before that, guys like Brian Jennings, shout out to him, he gave Luis opportunity, but he wasn't a champion. He was like one of the American heavyweights on the scene that was thought to go very far. But outside of that, there was a lot of guys in the heavyweight division, from what I seen, that had everything to lose. Either they had a big brand, they had belts, they had some type of sellable aspect to them, and they avoided Luis King Kong Ortiz. I know Eddie Hearns and Anthony Joshua at one point, not any longer. As you guys know, Joshua just recently lost again, second loss in a row to Ukrainian Olympian Alexander Usyk. But there was a point in time where Joshua and Eddie Hearn were trying to act as if they really were down to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz. But you see, when both fighters want to fight, and we know Luis Ortiz wanted to fight, but when both fighters want to fight, and then the promoters and the people in the suits want to fight, then there's usually less to get in the way, right? And despite, after, you guys got to keep in mind, Luis Ortiz was with Golden Boy. He was with Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya's company. And despite being on the same roster as Anthony Joshua after he left Golden Boy, the rematch room promotions did very little to secure a fight with Luis King Kong Ortiz. And then the two top matchroom fighters at that time, which was Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. These were easy fights to make. Dillian Whyte called Luis Ortiz an old man. Joshua acted at some point like he was down to fight Luis Ortiz, but Ortiz stayed on it. Ortiz, if you guys look it up, Ortiz had several call outs, especially of Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte as well, and he stayed on it. So I give a lot of praise to Luis Ortiz, not only for his skills and ability, but I give him a lot of praise for his stick-withedness, his ability to remain focused, eyes on the prize when people play games. And you see this oftentimes with black fighters and Cuban fighters, especially if they have a skillful, tricky, crafty style, where you'll have certain people and they make excuses, and certain fighters make excuses, every excuse under the sun, not to fight said fighter. We've seen this with other Cuban fighters like Erislandy Lara. He called out Triple G. Hell no, guys. Yeah, Max. He called out Canelo for a rematch, and he called out some of the best names, but none of those fights happened. The Canelo rematch nor Triple G rematch. We've seen it with another Cuban in his prime, Guillermo El Chicao Rigondao. Donaire didn't want to rematch him, but he rematched Nayao Inoue. Why didn't he rematch Rigondao at the time? You know what I mean? Because in a way he's a good fighter. Let's not get that confused. But at the same time, why are you willing to rematch in a way, but you weren't willing to go into a rematch, another loss, with Rigondeaux, because I would have definitely loved to see a rematch at that time between the two fighters. So having a Rigondeaux couldn't get the fights with Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, Scott Quigg, couldn't get a rematch with Donaire, and he was a boogeyman. Same thing for Luis Ortiz. Now, as far as Andy Ruiz, his career has been, let's say, a roller coaster, a teeter-totter, a seesaw. It's been very up and down. Now, I would say, I thought Ruiz won the Joseph Parker fight, but they didn't give it to him. Close fight, thought he won it. So he should have been a champion there. But it was when he fought Anthony Joshua in New York, late replacement. He had just signed with PBC. He only had one PBC fight and got the call. Gerald Big Baby Miller failed a drug test, the initial opponent for Anthony Joshua. And he got the call 5-7 weeks or so to train, and Ruiz rose to the occasion. Ruiz, after the Joshua win, it seemed like the sky was the limit, because his only other loss was a controversial one where arguably he beat Joseph Parker in New Zealand, right? And now he's on top of the world beating Joshua, who at the time was undefeated. So that was a big moment and a big mark. But Ruiz, the downside is it looked like the fame got to him. And at the end of the day, he squandered some of those opportunities by coming in ill prepared for the Joshua rematch fight. And that was a bad look, and he took a loss. It wasn't like a punishing loss, but Joshua was focused and tried to stay away, didn't want to exchange. So Joshua in Saudi Arabia did what he had to do. Now, Luis King Kong Ortiz and Andy Ruiz will collide. Both fighters are probably looking at a do or die fight, because a loss here would be pretty detrimental to whoever the loser is, especially if they lose in bad fashion. I'm looking forward to this fight. Both fighters have come in and it looked like they're in great shape. Ruiz was heavier. He weighed almost 270 pounds, 268.8. Luis King Kong Ortiz looks like he's in great shape. A lot of people bring up his age, but the man can fight. So I'm just looking forward to a great fight. Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Luis Ortiz. Surely with Joshua taking a second loss, Usyk winning. You got guys like Wilder, who announced he's coming back. Tough fight with Robert Helenius, Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker fighting Joe Joyce. I mean, there's a lot of action in the heavyweight division, some shifting, some movement. So the winner will definitely go on to the next big thing. Now let's take a look at the tale of the tape. Former champion Andy Ruiz Jr. has a record of 34-2. Luis King Kong Ortiz has challenged for a title against Deontay Wilder with a record of 33-2. Age: Andy Ruiz has a significant youth advantage, 32 years old, while Luis Ortiz of Cuba is 43. Height advantage goes to Luis Ortiz, listed at 6'4" tall, while Ruiz is 6'2". The fight will take place in the heavyweight division, and the reach goes to the taller man, Ortiz, 78 inches versus Andy's 74. Who will win? This is a battle, a must-win fight for both. Former champion and a former title challenger collide, Fox pay-per-view, to decide who will win. All roads lead to Luis King Kong Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz Jr. Tune in. I'll be checked into the fight, the Boxingego watch party. Make sure you guys come back. As always, subscribe, like, and comment. We work. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC, Bluetooth ready, with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.